Now, there's a lot going on right now in the world, and there's so many ideas going around about what actually could be happening. I've seen some very convincing arguments for certain things, and in this video, I'm going to share with you those 3 conspiracy theories that may actually turn out to be true in 2020. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron. I help people expand their consciousness. And in this video, I'm gonna be sharing some ideas with you that, to be honest, I never thought I would talk about on this channel, to be completely honest. However, there's a lot going on right now. Maybe you look around, you see the media kind of, in a certain vibe. You see a lot of other people kind of in a certain vibe. You may go to the grocery store and see people in a certain vibe. However, understand that as well, I personally believe there's a lot more going on than what we're maybe able to see. That's just my personal feeling. I've had that feeling since things really started to pop off. And there's certain patterns that I see. Now, let me say this as well. I'm just the reporter here, okay? So I'm just reporting back some of the things that I've seen, some of the things that may actually be true, but I'm not deeming that these are 100% actual fact. So even though I speak very confidently, don't assume that that's the way I'm coming about this. I encourage you to do your own research. However, I will share with you some of the things that I have learned from studying certain people that do have what is called insider information, or people that are able to, that kind of know what's going on the inside, I guess you could say. So this is what I'm going to be sharing in this video. Now, first off, let's talk about the elite takedown, okay? So when it comes to this, there is speculation right now that, right now there's this, I'm in Las Vegas. There's some places in the United States where you're not supposed to leave your house. And there's this situation that's made very, very big where there's a lot of people that can't necessarily leave. Now, there is a lot of speculation. Honestly, I've done quite a bit of research into this. It's very fascinating. I've known actually about this since 2012 as well. I studied this in 2000 when I went through my awakening. I looked into this a little bit. It's kind of a darker rabbit hole once you start going down. So eventually I actually kind of pulled back from it and stopped focusing on it. But there are, from what I understand, from the research I've done, do your own research, but I've realized that there are certain, what we could call elite people who are very, very wealthy. Some of them are very, very well known, and they are a part of like a group of people that do very dark things. They do very dark things, and it's with the intention of keeping also a lot of other people in the dark about things. So what they can do is kind of intend to facilitate certain events happening. And when they facilitate certain events happening, it keeps people in a certain mentality so that people are easier to control. I think there's a reason that the education system is somewhat the way it is. I think there is a reason the media projects out complete negativity. Even before all of this stuff happened in the world, complete negativity, 99.9% of it. It is a fact that there's 6 major corporations that own all the media. Find that very interesting as well. So if there was a certain objective or intention, it'd be very easy to shoot it across all 6 of those. So it's very interesting, but the research that I've done, I did a video recently that was also on, I learned this from someone named Gigi Young, who is another YouTuber, and she broke down one of Tom Hanks' posts on his Instagram and showed the symbolism in it. And she explained that what they do sometimes is some of these elite people, what they do is they charge objects with energy, and then they put it on their social media for other people to see, because then in a way it has an effect on the collective consciousness of millions of people paying attention to their stuff. And there was also little messages inside the text that he said, really random. It was one of the weirdest things ever. He claims that he brought a 25-pound typewriter during a time of quarantine to a different country, because it was his favorite typewriter that just so happened to be the same exact name of what's going on right now in the world. It was absolutely ridiculous. However, when you break it down, you see there's a little bit more to it than you think. And then you find out that someone like Madonna also has put out the same exact symbolism in some of her social media. And I start looking at all these people that are speculated to have these connections with people. They do have connections, some of these elite people, with people that have already been tried and are already going to prison for things that have done that are very, very naughty, bad things. So it seems very not far of a stretch to say, okay, maybe they're also involved with this as well, you know. However, one thing that I believe may happen in 2020 is these elite people may get taken down, which means that they may have to pay for their acts against humanity. They may have to pay for some of the very dark things they do. Some of the dark things they do are extraordinarily dark, and I don't even want to talk about them. But just understand that everything is energy, and there are people that may use that in a positive way, like when we do group meditations and we send energy and we set the intention to, like we did one on Instagram yesterday, we set the intention to send energy to other people that are going through what they're going through right now in the world, and people at hospitals and stuff that are helping, like send energy to them, and also to bring through high vibrational energy for to become on the, to, you know, be on the most optimal timeline. That's very positive, but there are people that use it in the exact opposite way. They do very dark things, and it puts a very negative energy into the collective consciousness, and then it's more easily able to keep people controlled. So when you look at the media, 99.9% of it is negative. It's been like that for a very long time. There may be a purpose behind it. Like I said, I'm just a reporter here. Do your own research and see what resonates with you. However, that's kind of the conclusion that I've got to when it comes to the media, and then it's easy to see how some of these things piece together. However, I think it's a very powerful time. This isn't something to be afraid of. I do believe that they are going to lose their power, and they're going to have to pay for the things that they've done. I do believe that. So I believe that this is a very good thing that that stuff's going to be stopped, okay? I'm not saying that I recommend everyone go down these little segments. You know, these are, like I said, these are conspiracy theories. I don't know for sure if they're true. However, do your own research, or don't do your research and just let's see what happens. And when I say don't do your research, I'm not saying believe what I'm saying right now. I'm saying just, you can also just trust in the process. Sometimes when you focus a lot on this stuff, you start feeling, it almost becomes a rabbit hole where you start seeing more and more negative things, because there may be some negative things that happen in the world. So the more you focus on that, you might not feel that much better. So just be a little bit aware of it, maybe do a little bit of research, and then pull back from it. That's what I do, because I find it interesting. The second conspiracy theory that may be true in 2020 is there may be good guys, the good guys, that may take down these people. The good guys are people that we would consider to be people that have, this is also sometimes called the deep state. That's also kind of what some people refer to it as. There are people that their main intention, there are people that are old government officials, people that have seen some of the things that are going down that are wrong, that have been that have seen it and been around and know about it, and people that are teaming together to take control of this, to make sure this doesn't happen. So from what I understand, there is a group of people that are doing this, that are, you call them the Alliance, call them white hats, I don't know what we call them. Like I said, I'm just the reporter here, okay? But nonetheless, there's a lot of conspiracy around this whole idea with QAnon and stuff like that. I'm not the expert with any of this. I'm telling you that right now. I find it fascinating though. I do think that there's other stuff going on other than what we see. And then again as well, remember, there's 6 major corporations that own all the news. So when you hear some of these words and you do some research, it may be blasted that these things are just completely ridiculous and it's been proven wrong. But also understand that when it comes to search engines and stuff like that, there's a reason that sometimes things are hard to find. To find the truth, you got to go to like the 6th page of Google, because everything else is just like main media that's been putting out these like crazy things. So it's interesting. So it could be that these people take down these people in 2020. That is a conspiracy theory. I'm just here reporting these ideas here, and I find it very interesting. Now, the third conspiracy theory that once again, I don't know if this is true. However, I have heard this recently, and I do know, I was watching a Joe Rogan episode the other day, and he was talking to someone else, and they were talking about JFK. And they were playing a clip of JFK in a speech talking about him trying to take down and intending to take down secret societies. This is something that JFK wanted to do. There are legit speeches of this. And shortly after he did a couple things and made speeches like this, he got assassinated. He got taken out. So that happened back in the 60s. And then there is a conspiracy theory out there that JFK Jr., who is the son of JFK, he passed away in a plane crash in 1999, something like that. I was talking to my mom the other day about it, and she remembers that. I was too young to really remember that. However, there is a conspiracy theory that he may have actually faked his own death with his wife because he knew that the cabal, these people, were going to try to take him out just like they took his dad out. So because they knew that they were going to, they wanted to take him out, he said, okay, rather than they take me out, he's going to go into hiding. And he has some people, and there's rumors that he knows certain people. It's very interesting. However, that is the idea, is that he would go into hiding and then eventually come back out once these people were taken down. But they had too much power back in 1999 and that era, and they were for sure most likely going to try to take him out because he was going to be running against Hillary, and they would rather, you know, they did not want him to win or to be involved with that, so they were going to do that. Faked a plane crash. They never found the bodies, from what I understand, or I forget. Like I said, I'm just the reporter here. I've heard this from many different sources as well. I find it very interesting. The idea could be that maybe he eventually comes out and then explains that this is why he had to go into hiding, and then it kind of shows people that, hey, there's something else going on here. So in general, I do believe that the old structures here in 2020, they're literally falling apart. The old power dynamic on the planet of keeping people of a very, very top select people, keeping certain events orchestrated and keeping certain people in a certain level of consciousness, I believe that that paradigm is going to a close, and what is happening is it's a year of revealing that about these people that are doing very dark things. And it's about also a time of breaking down those old structures so that we as the people can have the power to then be in the way that we prefer. So if you want to learn more about these kind of, if this is your thing right here, I'll go ahead and put a couple videos right in the top of the description box below that I've made recently on things like this, on hidden things and stuff like that. Let me know what you think. Other than that, let me know what you think. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be doing more videos like this. And as always, I'll see you on the next video. Peace, much love, and namaste.